Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're sticking with the theme of the Chaos, like we did in the last one where we were Beastmen, except this time we're playing as the bad boys themselves, the actual Chaos faction, with the Prince at the helm over here, looking pretty swanky. Got his little rapier, which doesn't make sense for the times, but it's cool. So what we have going on here, if I quickly go into tab mode, is that we've got my armies mostly centered because I've got very high tier units. We're up against wood elves and high elves. Then I've got a beastman ally who's being the front line. It's basically switched roles from what I did last game, where I'm the heavy, high effective units. So I wanted to get another cavalry flank, but I think like last time I'm going to get cut off this time by these really annoying way watchers that just run and shoot, a lot like my minotaurs were in the last one. Like, look at that. I wonder if that'll take someone out. Let's track it. Boom! Look at that poor dog. Didn't stand a chance. Oh, and it took my horse in the head. So yeah, I was in a lot of pain on this flank at the beginning, which I wanted to deliver more than take. But I knew I had really expensive high tier warriors over here with my Chaos Halberds and my Chaos Warriors. These guys are high armor, high health, and pack a really big punch. Their survivability is amazing. And then I've got my cannon fodder line here, because I didn't particularly trust the Beastmen was going to do their jobs. So I have a nice big cannon fodder line of just Chaos Marauders. Just really useless units I can throw into the mix. So we're about to engage here in the center. What I did was I told my ally, by using the little paint indicator when we first joined, just put all your Ungors up front, really get them in close, because what I was worried about was that the High Elves were going to bring Lothman Sea Guards and artillery and really just make us suffer with the range. But what actually ended up happening is they bought all the really high tier melee units, so the Beastmen take a real beating early game, because I did not realise what I was sending them headfirst into. Look at that, just swordsmen of Hoeth just absolutely destroy. Phoenix Guard, pretty impenetrable wall. On this flank, still taking a lot of damage. Just can't get in close enough to them. They got magic as well. In the rear over here, we got not one, but two Lords on Dragons. Now, this is a real problem for me because I brought one artillery, which I'm keeping at the back just to try and put in some work. And I've only got Dragon Ogres to try and really pack a punch. And I can't really commit them in two places at once. So I was really worried during the whole fight that these two Lords on Dragons were just going to kite me all game and really pull me away. So yeah, the center line's engaged and the Dragons see an opportunity, so they start moving. Because I've already started focusing them, seeing that I need to get rid of them. Just boom, big hit right there from the Hell Cannon. The Minotaurs are coming in to help out their Ungors. Really hopefully going to push through those swordsmen, which is a good play. He shouldn't have tried to go for the Phoenix Guard. Hopefully he did go for the swordsman. Dragon just flying overhead of the battle. Looks awesome. So we're quickly going to stick it back on play here. Watch the charge. So what I'm really focusing on here is having my high armor units take out their lower tier units. Then I stopped here because I didn't know what he was going to do with the dragon. I was worried that he was going to try and get in the back of me. So what I do is I divert my Dragon Ogres, and they're going to try and keep these guys alive. Over here on the left flank, I'm getting pretty destroyed by the range, as I said. Just couldn't make that distance, and then they just come in with these really high tier cavalry and just start taking me out. So I think somehow pulling the Dragon Ogres back just distracted the Lord enough. They do use some breath, which I didn't notice before, and that must have hurt quite a bit actually now that I think about it. The Minotaurs pushing through the swordsman quite well, but taking a lot of range fire from the forest, which we didn't focus much. I believe he does divert a little bit. Here we go, so I deploy my squads off now. So we got swordsmen holding off some Chaos Warriors right here. Pretty even fight, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure they're both really high tier melee units. We got Halberds and Chaos Marauders here. A lot of spells going off, so I don't know if I can find them. They have a couple of Lords dotted around, which are just dedicated spellcasters. They're still Still just trying to destroy my artillery. They do succeed in destroying the Hell Cannon, but they leave the artillery from the Beastmen because they don't really have a choice, because I've got the Dragon Ogres there, and they're not going to commit all their forces. Especially not their leaders against 2 monsters. I just don't think it would turn out well for them. So we're still pushing in the centre. Let's get a quick overview. As you can see, just a clear, defined line of battle here. Dragon breathing in. And over in the left flank, trying to chase off some of these archers, but as I said, they're Way Watchers. And that just means it ends up being a horrible situation where they're just getting peppered the whole way. And in the centre over here, Dragon starts to commit. Boom! Look at that. And he really focuses the lower tier units. Like, he doesn't commit on my halberds. He just goes for these Ungors. And to be fair, really put some pressure on the Phoenix Guard just holding the line. So I immediately recommit my halberds to him. And he backs off. Right thing to do. So in the centre here, we got the Beastmen Lord fighting the Wizard. He gets focused by their melee units. There's still a big standoff on this side. What I do, if we slow it down here, I'll just do a quick play-by-play of what happened. So I moved several groups in 2x2, so I had 2 off in each direction. The left flank is winning at the moment. They have my Lord with them, my Prince, who has one piece of armor which is very important if I can find it, which is the ability to recharge health. There it is. Auric armor replenishes health throughout the entire fight. That proves to be an absolute linchpin for this flank because he just doesn't waver. As long as his health is there, he keeps the leadership up of my men, and that's really important because, as you can see, several are flagging, and I don't blame them. They're dealing with a lot of missile fire because we got archers posted over here. We got dragons breathing in. And so yeah, it's a bit of a cluster at the moment, but there's still some defined fronts really trying to break these Phoenix Guard. But they're so steadfast, they take such a long time to defeat. He keeps recommitting spells, keep just ploughing them in there. I think he has a lot of healing, where his, there it is. His Life Wizard here really tries to keep the dragon alive. And my ally is not looking too great. As you can see, his numbers are dwindling. What units he does have, most of them are routing. So let's stick it back on play for now. And look at that big charge by those deer. Really heaving into them. Whoa, and there's a breath as well. It's just absolute bedlam in this field of fire. Because they got archers flying in on their own friendlies. And I think we break the cavalry here. But at the same time, the dragon breaks more of my ally. And some of my Chaos Warriors, which I was really hoping to keep. Oh, there's another big breath. Phoenix Guard's still holding, so I run my, I think it was halberds? Yeah, I run my halberds into the back to try and break them. And almost instantly, they recommit their dragons into this line to try and counter that, see? They were very, very precise and specific about where they'd use dragon. I was constantly posting my leader on them, because I knew I would outlast them. And there they are, as I said earlier, Dragon Ogres, the only real big damage dealers I brought along instantly to try and get rid of the dragon. The worst part of their dragons in this fight, to be sure, was the Terror. There were a lot of moments where the Terror was just driving my units out and I had to throw them back in and driving them out. Oh, big smash down there. And it instantly focused the halberds. Whoa, some friendly fire there. Didn't know that happened at the time. So we'll stick it on slow again. Have a quick check as to what's going on. So we got the dragon in the centre line, committed to what's left of my infantry. So we got some Chaos Marauders, Chaos Halberds, and Chaos Warriors. My leader is trying to take out one of their really annoying little spellcasters. And I didn't think this would be much of a fight. I thought I could send my leader in and he would deal with him pretty quick, but it doesn't turn out that way. That guy holds off for quite a while. Let's see how the Beastmen are doing. They're still quite suffering. Look at this. They're trying their best, but the Gore Herds are just not the most effective infantry. I'm not a huge fan of the Beastmen, despite me playing them last time. I think they're very much an army that needs support or overwhelming numbers. They don't really work as a headlong assault. not like the, let's say, Dwarves or Chaos. They're far more reliable units. So in the back here we've had some units that are routed and rejoined, but they've intercepted, and they're just some Chaos Marauders, again, some of my cannon fodder units. Didn't know this, but apparently he ran some of his Minotaurs into their archers, which actually probably saved my flank, because these archers were just tearing them apart. Whoa, look at that boy go. Beautiful. So in the centre, we've still got the leader. But there we go, this is what I was talking about. They throw down the net spell, they get a bunch of spells off on him. But it all turns out for nothing, because as I said, as long as his leadership's there, he just regens it all back. I keep popping his abilities, which buffs all of my men's defense and will. And I think they're trying to counter that by just constantly having this life wizard, which I really couldn't commit to. Constantly regenerating the leader, but I'm pretty sure I deal more damage than I take in that regard. Surprised we've still got some marauders over here, but they're backed up by some gore herds. And yeah, it's turning to a bit of a last legs fight at this point. I've lost a decent chunk of my army, and they have too. They brought a lot less men, but we brought a lot more cannon fodder, so that's just the way it goes. So let's stick it back on play and see what happens next. Whoa, another big hit from the artillery there. Look, as I said, just constantly trying to make sure that these leaders get punished when they come in. Chipping them away at them. Whoa! Big spell there. Didn't even know that leader was around. Look at you. Look at that. Lovely shot. Just the two dragons, the Phoenix Guard. And these two dragons are all of the troubles I had. Dragon Ogres trying to make the difference. Oh, and there goes another one. And I'm pretty sure somewhere in here is my prince, because I committed him every time. I sent all my infantry off to finish some of their elite units while they still had them, because I didn't want them to be caught up in the friendly fire of this. Absolute carnage. Here we go, another life spell regenerating that dragon's health. Trying to keep him busy. I still don't know where my prince is. Let's find out quickly. Yeah, the prince is in there. There he is. Just taking a battering. Ooh, giving as good as he gets though. Sat with my Beastmen Lord, facing the elves together. Look at that. No fear from him at all. Whoa, big spell hit. And that's someone pulling back. He pins the other Beastman Lord. Pretty sure he's on the edge. Oh, and here comes another one. Big charge in. Still trying to punish them for landing these dragons. Over here, I can now recommit these units because they broke those elites. And look at these guys come in. They're just such cool looking units, the Chaos. So here they come. Boom! Another big hit from that Centaur. There's High Elves in the mix now. Ooh, taking a bit of friendly fire. But again, just his health doesn't move. My prince, he's gone down about a third, but I'm not worried in the slightest. I keep charging him in. Follow those dragons, really punish them. So right now I decide now is the time to try and take out that leader. They're only going to sit up in the sky and try and heal anyway, so why not try and get rid of one of the healers? Which, as I said, I expected to take out with ease, but he is a stubborn little wizard and refused to die easily. Let's put it back on slow-mo, get another idea of what's going on. So we've been completely shattered here on the left, but they've got very little to show as well. We have some gore herds, I believe those are, still over there. We got the life wizard fighting the Beastmen Bray Shaman, who is on a very cool looking mount. Looks crazy. Or was he going for another spell? On the right flank, the Minotaurs were defeated, but the elves have no more ammo and the cavalry is all but spent. Look at these guys, they're all that stands left. And so it's mostly down to me and what's left of their forces now. The Beastmen are helping out where they can, but the bulk of what the Chaos has left to offer is me, here in the centre. And it's not much, it's really not much if we look. It's a couple of Chaos Marauders, oh, and another big land coming in here. There it is. This dragon is just covered in blood, so much to show for it. And instantly, look, he turns around because they pull him back out. This is their whole game plan. Pull him in, take him out. Halberd getting a quick chop in there. Just really afraid to leave those dragons in there. With good reason as well. With my halberds, anti-large, very high armor, good melee attack, they would deal a lot of damage to those dragons very quickly. So we got some archers that came in. Just going to finish them off with my dragon ogres. So let's stick it back on play. And there they are again. They refocused them on that shaman, and there he goes. They had to save their healer because that's their only play, to try and keep them healed up. Over here they got what's left of the Beastmen making a desperate last charge. And you guessed it, they're going to bring him in to reinforce what's left, as if it wasn't bad enough for these Beastmen. Poor fellas. But over here in the centre, I decide it's about time with them constantly pulling the dragons back. Let's try and get some rest. I believe I set up around here. Yeah, as you can see, set up around here. I decide all my men are exhausted. Let's try and get a little bit of this energy back. Because at this point, I feel like I outnumber them. I do, yeah. And so that was the advantage I was playing for. Oh, hello, that might have been the presence of the Beastmen, actually. But I think still, numbers are marginally on my side, and I have my prince, who's, look, he's still just going up in health. Look at that number go up. That armor is absolutely amazing. And so I've still got him to get back to full strength, whereas their leader's relying on their magic, barely moving. Their cap's still there, still very high, it's still possible for them to get higher, but look at that, they used the heal on the elves instead. I wouldn't recommend that, it doesn't regen units, simply regenerates HP. So I see their archer here, just try and scare him off. I knew I couldn't really throw my leader out simply because of this, the wavering. I needed them to keep their leadership, and the best way to do that is keeping them in the bubble of the leader. Because again, with them how much they rely on those dragons, I need that big damage from these guys to just punish them when they come down. So the elves have clocked on to what's going on, and they start gathering what little forces they have left, and for some reason they seem intent on... oh, there goes the Beastman Lord as well. Didn't notice that before. He served me well. But yeah, for some reason, as you can see, they commit forces here at the back, and they even send the tiny bit of cavalry they have left to try and do this, as if I'm just going to let them charge me in the rear and surround me. So I start a march with these guys because I decide I can't give them too long to gather all their forces together. And look, he sent in what's left of his forces with me, his big boy. No more ammo on him, but plenty to give, especially in terms of HP, which is really important. Really just needs some sponging up here because all of their units are low. So I just need to break them. So here we go. See, this is what I talk about. They go for the surround play as if I'm not going to notice these guys here. And so I just turn my three boys around and say, that's it. Final charge, fellas. Let them have it. You can see their cavalry waiting in the wings there. And they try and run. They're not willing to stand a fight, despite my guys having literally 4 hits to their name, if that. Especially if they committed their leader, but no. They let me get real close to these archers, some of the few units they have left, and just boom! Send them flying. Get out of here. Woof! Nothing left. And so this is what I like. They say, this is it. Wham! Instantly take out one of my ogres. But they're going to suffer for it. Big hit there. Big hit there. And these guys decide they've had enough. And so over here at the main line, the charge begins. And instantly, as you'll see, they commit with the only thing they have left, magic. And the dragons are just ready. They're raring to go. There it is, the pincer. Just smush, coming in both sides. Oh, lots of my boys decide that's enough for me. And they get terror, so it should happen any second now. They get terrified. They can't commit to the fight because they're just running away from these dragons. All they have left is low tier units. They have some swordmasters coming in, but I'm not worried about them at all. I'm literally worried about the dragon and their terror. So I did charge in with about 6 units. Now all I have left in the actual fight is 2. Because as I said, the rest run away. They just, no, they can't take it. The artillery unit is doing exactly what I needed of him. He's not going to deal a lot of damage, but he is sponging up damage. Just taking it out. Whoa, that guy's gone. So they decide best thing to do is try and finish what's left of the Beastmen. This, I think, is a mistake. I think they should have focused on wiping out what units I had left, because with all my units gone, my leader wouldn't stick around. He would break out of leadership. Because there's nothing left to lead. But instead, look, it's constantly going in and running out. They should have really just gone for my units and just stayed in the fight. But instead they got one leader over there, one leader over here. And they're just letting the artillery really, because I believe he causes terror as well. Yeah, he does. So he's affecting their infantry as much as theirs is attacking mine. So look at this, one big charge here. Fantastic. Take out a few of the spears they have left. This was a very, very close fight. Like at this point I really wasn't sure which way it was going to go. They can even commit their regen wizard. Because they have nothing else to give. I instantly give her the old get out of this fight. One last big charge from the dragon. I don't know where the forest dragon is at that point. He's still over there. The star dragon's still really eager to get in. They commit one last charge here. And honestly, it might work. It's not like I have a lot left. Still going for that Cygor. Really think that's a mistake. Probably been far more worthwhile to kill my boys. Oh, big kick in the side. And again. Big hit for the Cygor. Oh, just crushing that dragon's neck. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Over here, these elves haven't got much fight left in them, especially not against my high tier units. And that's the way news goes. It was a really good fight, and see you guys next time.